In this presentation, you will learn about the structuration theory. The structuration theory is connected with the sociologist Giddens. Through this theory, he tried to combine modern and classical thinkers' ideas while developing the theory. In other words, he tried to find a midway between macro, grand theories like functionalism and Marxism, and the micro theories like ethnomethodology, interactionism in sociology. The theory was first used in Giddens' book Central Problems in Social Theory. He pointed out that structuration describes an action, that is, to structure or to do or to produce the structure. According to Giddens, actions by an individual are taken through one's past influence. However, in every new action, he or she also reproduces his existing structure. This continuity of the past and the reproduction of the present structure is what he calls structuration. According to Giddens, the actor always does some activity, and while doing the activity, he is doing structuration, that is, reproducing structure. Thus, reproduction of structure is structuration. Major features of structuration theory. It can be explained through four major aspects. Human agency, that is, agent structure dualism, where the social actor is a rational actor who can make decisions. Social practice. Here there is a link between practice and context. Reflexivity. This involves a self-consciousness on the part of the individual and an ability to monitor the ongoing flow of social life and at least sometimes take one's understanding of this flow of social life into account when considering appropriate action and deciding on a course of action. Structure. These are the patterns in the social world that affect individuals and are composed of rules, resources, and agency. Characteristics of structuration theory. Structures exist only in human memory. Structures exist only in practice. They are produced by agents, that is, actors. Structures enable us to do actions. They also exercise control over the actor. Structures consist of rules and resources that agents or actors draw upon in social production and reproduction of social life. Structuration theory is a sociological concept that incites human behavior based on the duality of structure. It believes in the combination of structure and agency effects rather than describing human action as controlled by powerful, stable societal structures, which are educational, religious, or political institutions, or as a function of individual expression of will. Structuration theory recognizes the interaction of meanings, standards, and values and power and suggests a dynamic relationship between these various aspects of society. Understanding structure and agency. Since its beginning, the combination of structure and agency has been a very important topic in sociology. Theories of structure and agency argue that structure is supreme. They point out that their socialization largely determines the behavior of individuals into that structure, for example, gender or social class. These structures play an important role in individuals' lives at various levels. At its top level, society can be seen as one where there are large-scale socio-economic stratifications. On a mid-range level, institutions and social networks form the focus of study. At the micro scale, one might consider how community or professional norms restrain agency. Structuralists describe the effect of structure in conflicting ways. French social scientist Emile Durkheim emphasized the positive role of stability and permanence. In contrast, Karl Marx described structures as protecting the few, doing little benefits for the poor people of the society. Supporters of agency theory, also called the subjective view, consider that individuals possess the ability to exercise their own free will and make their own choices. Hence, social structures are viewed as products of individual actions that are sustained or discarded rather than incommensurable forces. Giddens' view. Sociologists have questioned the polarized nature of the structure agency debate, highlighting the combination of these two influences on human behavior. Giddens argues that just as an individual's independence is influenced by structure, structures are maintained and adapted through the exercise of agency. The interface at which an actor meets a structure is termed as structuration. Structuration theory attempts to understand human social behavior by resolving the competing views of structure agency and macro-micro perspectives. This is achieved by studying the processes as the interface between the actor and the structure. Structuration theory assumes that social action cannot be fully explained by the structure or agency theories alone. Instead, it recognizes that actors operate within the context of rules produced by social structures, and only by acting in a submissive manner are these structures reinforced. As a result, social structures have no inherent stability outside human action because they are socially constructed. Alternatively, through reflexivity, agents modify social structures by acting outside the structure's constraints. Giddens' framework of structure differs from that in the classic theory. He proposes three kinds of structure in a social system. The first is signification, which meaning is coded in the practice of language and discourse. The second is legitimation, consisting of the normative perspectives embedded as a societal norm and value. Giddens' final structural element is domination, concerned with how power is applied, particularly in controlling resources. For Giddens, structures are more specific and detailed than the system. According to him, rules and resources are the two primary features of market exchange, class structures, political organizations and processes, and educational institutions. They can be further classified into different types like procedural rules, which refers to how the practice is performed, give and take encounters, language rules, walking in a crowd. Goffman and ethnomethodologists analyze them. Moral rules, appropriate forms of enactment of social action. Laws, what is permissible and what is not. These do not refer to ultimate values but refer to appropriate ways of carrying out social action and interaction. Durkheim and Parsons emphasize the importance of these norms, mores, customs, laws. Material resources, allocation of resources among activities and members of society, means of production, commodities, income, consumers, and capital goods. The Marxian analysis demonstrates the inequalities associated with the allocation. Resources of authority, formal organizations, how time and space are organized, production and reproduction, social mobility, legitimacy, and authority. Weber analyzed the latter issues in the context of power and its exercise. Wright included these resources as assets in his explanation of contradictory class locations. Criticism. Two major criticisms come out of structuration. One group of critics comprising Thompson, Archer, Lader, and Livesey points out that Giddens emphasizes the agent's actor and enabling side at the expense of the constraining element, that is, structural frames. Giddens does not specify how enabling or constraining structures are. The other side of criticism concerns the applicability of the theory concerning empirical analysis. Gregson, Bertelsen, and Thrift claim that although structuration theory is interesting and perhaps transcends some dualistic problems at a theoretical level, it is less fruitful in empirical research. The abstract level of the theory weakens its fruitfulness. I hope you now have a better understanding of the theory of structuration. Thank you for watching the presentation. Do like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments about this presentation or any other topics you would like to learn more about.